Welcome to Brew and Review with Mike and Jake from Orange Cactus Coffee. Join them as they put coffees and brew methods to the test.
Oh yes, thank you so much for joining us. We are back with episode 2 of Brew and Review. We are drinking an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe from Hard Coffee Roasters. It was delicious, and we are saying farewell to the Yama Silverton. We're going to use it to do this brew, and then it is off to its new home. Let's go ahead. Oh, sorry, we got to jump in with Mike's jingle first. So here we go.
All right, well, let's hear it. Review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review.
All right, welcome to Brew and Review 2 with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel.
Episode number 2.
Number two. You are in for a special treat today.
One went so well, we thought, let's do 2.
Well, and I'm not going to talk much because I'm going to be brewing for you today. So, Mike,
take it away.
If you're not watching on the YouTube channel, which you can, like, share, subscribe, bell, comment, whatever that is.
Yep.
Nice if you're listening, Mike, you have to give a play-by-play.
Yep.
You got to give the play-by-play.
This is exciting. Let me quaff this.
Yeah, quaff that cortado. Then I'm going to quaff my cortado.
So today, what we're doing, we're kind of both doing a coffee that we've had a little time with and we've really enjoyed and thought what better than to get it on the Brew and Review show. So that's Heart. That was a gift to us. And so we appreciate that. We are also then going to use this coveted and often spoke about, not always in the best light or terms, is the Yama.
Silverton by Yama.
The Silverton by Yama, as Jake says, from a distance.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So the thing with this, right, you've had it for a while, didn't really use it much, found it kind of difficult, cumbersome. We put it under the table and often kicked it. You recently decided, hey, this might have a better home somewhere else. And it has found a new home. But we thought before we send it on, we wanted to give it one last...
we wanted to try and get our money's worth out of it by generating content for you to watch and read about. But it's going to Reed. Congratulations, Reed. He was the very first to email. In fact, I woke up to his email. I woke up the morning of, and his email was there. Says, "Hey,
I thought he was at your door.
How are you?"
I woke up to Reed knocking on my door.
I woke up to Reed knocking on my door, and he said,
"I'm here for the Yama."
Is that Yama Silverton still available?
Yama.
So, what I don't like about it is it's very cumbersome to use. It is beautiful to look at. I don't know if you can see, but it has this black base, a silver arm, a glass. What's that? Well, watch you break it right now.
I just thought of that.
A glass, I don't know, dripper at
beaker,
the top. Beaker
carafe.
Type thing.
At the top, yeah.
It looks kind of like a science experiment. It looks like a cross between a pour-over and a siphon. But one of the things, because it has a stand on the bottom, it's incredibly tough to get on a scale. It's very hard to use. So I'm going to go ahead and brew us some
fit on
coffee.
top of this?
But it won't measure the water that's going into...
No, because it's connected.
Because it's connected.
Yeah, you got to wait.
You got to put the scale underneath.
Yeah, because it wouldn't...
You wouldn't know.
This is kind of hurting my head looking at this, actually. What?
Okay, Mikey, you're on it now. See, even just moving it around on the scale changed the weight on it.
So, Jake, you can't hear him, but he's talking like you can. So what he's going to be placing is a wafer. I call it a wafer, but it's like a filter that goes in the top.
Ceramic.
The ceramic. Oh, it's ceramic. Thanks, Jake. I don't understand it completely. And then we have a metal filter that goes in next. It's got, 4, 5, 6 holes on the bottom and then multiple holes on the sides.
It's got this mesh. See that?
Oh, and it's also got a mesh kind of lining. So catch all the fines. But if that doesn't work, then you have the ceramic wafer to catch the rest. So now he's doing a little bit of preheating. The valve is closed, which is nice because then you could fill it up a little bit, let the water sit in there. And then to release it, you just turn on the side. There's like a little valve. If you've never seen the Silverton, that's kind of its main feature, I would say, is that not only is it aesthetic, but it has this cool little valve that you can turn on and off. So you can kind of like, in fashion of the clever, have a submerged, version, a submergent brewer. Is that a word? Yeah, Jake says yes. So we're good. And then open the valve. Or you can just leave it open and do a straight pour over. What are you going to do today, Jake?
I'm going to submerge it. I'm going to use it as an immersion style because I think to me that's really kind of that's what's cool about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to pour coffee in. I'm going to add as much hot water as we need for it. And then I'm going to let it sit. And then I'm going to drain it out. And then we're going to drink it. And if it's not very good, we are not blaming Heart Coffee Roasters.
No, because we've had Heart. And while you're prepping that, I'll talk a little bit about Heart. So today we have this Ethiopian Reko, Reko, Reko Suave. I like that better. Wild honey, blackberry, jasmine, and tangerine. It's from the Yirgacheffe region. It's an heirloom variety, processed fully washed. Elevation is 1850 to 2100 meters above sea level. So you've added the coffee, and now you are pouring the water. Very good. What are you shooting for here, Jake? 3 minutes, and then a minute drawdown? 4 total?
I'm going to go with 2.5.
He's going about 2.5, maybe 3:30. Kind of shoot for a similar extraction time as we would on most pour-overs. Looks pretty interesting. You can see the slurry. There's kind of a gap between the glass on the outside and the silver filter on the inside. And it just makes me wonder if that water that is trapped in that little channel is not being efficiently used, if it's not being a part of the extraction anymore.
And then there's this.
Well, it's a nice little lid. You think it would keep the brew warm and hot, kind of keep the steam in there, but it
doesn't fit.
It ain't fitting.
Doesn't fit.
What about?
Be careful.
I know. Reed, I'm sorry if something happens. What about that?
I think that's beautiful.
You flip it over. But
it doesn't. It's like everything else is so thoughtful and so
well designed
that doesn't fit with the metal filter in there. So it will fit without the metal filter in there for storage. But then where do you put the metal filter? You got to put that someplace else.
Yeah, it's kind of unique.
But after you rinse the metal filter, the cleanup is a little tough as well. You take the little wafer, the ceramic wafer out, and you rinse that out as well.
Yeah. Nice. So we are at $1.40. The thing I like about it kind of looks like a little top hat with it upside down.
Yeah.
It's like the worker hat.
I really like the vessel, the brew vessel that it goes into. I think it looks cool, but really it's just not functional. And the reason why I got it is it looked so cool in an Instagram photo off of some cafe that was using it, some coffee shop. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I think I paid over $100 for it. Right now it's like $90 on Amazon, but still it's not.
This is borsilicate glass in the carafe.
It's not worth it. And it's not easy to use. I don't see why a cafe would use it. All right. So
I'm going to releasing
at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Do you want to do the release?
No, you can. This is, the final brew on this baby. And away it goes. Nice, steady stream. It's coming out as you would expect. Maybe a little faster. Maybe that sounds like...
Excuse me.
Yeah, full-on urination is what it sounds like here.
So it does go pretty fast. And I think it's because of the metal filter. It's not, you can go finer, but I think this is the right, the way to do it.
Well, that's pretty good.
The right grind setting. I think we got the right grind setting.
You're dribbling out right about 311.
Excuse me.
Oh, but.
Excuse me. I'm allergic to the Silverton.
Right. Finishing up right at 320. Perfect. I think that, to me, I anticipate that being adequate. Well done, Jake. I'm impressed.
Thank you much. And then we've got some sparkling water, of course, to rinse out our cortado with. Mike is going to go ahead and preheat the decent espresso coffee vessels that he got for me for Christmas. Thank you, Mikey. Those were Those are very cool. They
Double
are
walled, dual wall.
dual-walled glass, and they look cool. They just look cool. And that is the primary reason why we use things, is because they look cool. So what I didn't like about the Silverton as well is that it, with just this metal filter, now you can use a different filter. You can use the Hario V60 filters, but with this one, I felt like it gave me a little bit of a dirty cup. It's a little bit of a dirty cup. It looks beautiful. It's so hard to use. I am very happy. It's very hard to get level as well, but I am very happy that it's going to a new home. I think, Reed, you're going to be, it's going to do well. If it doesn't, don't try to return it.
Yep, there you go. So now we're going to give it a taste, because that's the review part of this show. If you hadn't put that together. Oh, and by the way, Jake, I want to say, since
Do you
this
see
is
how
episode
I'm pouring
2,
that, though? I mean, it looks cool, but it is not easy
is
to
it
use. Look at
running
this.
down the here? Okay, I'm with you. Oh,
I'm almost upside down here on this dirty coffee. Look at that, though. You can see.
you can see it's a little cloudy, huh? It's not very clean.
It's not a clean cup.
That's because your wafer's dirty, Jake.
Nope, I cleaned that wafer.
You got a dirty wafer. But I was going to say real quick, right? This is episode 2, which
This is episode 2.
this is the first time I've been on the Brew and Review show since I got to hear the official intro.
Yes.
And I want to thank you so much for getting that together. It sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
But you're also kind of a jerk.
Yes.
And I think
listen, in all fairness, I was not going to include the brew review, but the fans wanted it. The people wanted it, Mike. The people want it.
Well, I'm glad they like it.
The people wanted
you
your
put a lot of time in there.
remix.
Yeah, little remix.
Yeah, that
your
one was
audio
chopped
skills
up.
are shining through. I think my vocals are coming through quite nice. So I actually don't mind. I like the attention.
And you get the attention. Tell me about this heart coffee, though. This
what do we
Ethiopian Reko. Is it Reko?
Reko Suave.
Oh, yes. The Reko Suave, of course. Reko.
I will say the smell is a little off-putting.
It's because it's coming through that metal filter. It's like using the Able cone, just not as good
Yeah, I think
in
you're right.
the Chemex. I'm sorry, the metal and the ceramic, I don't care much for it. But Reed, don't let that stop you from using it, buddy. It's on its way. By the time this is going, you're going to have it.
Okay. We had Heart, and it was really good.
It was really, really good.
We had it, I think, V60 last time we had it.
Yes, V60.
This is not.
It's terrible. This is not an we have to redo this for Heart. Because Heart is great coffee. But so the Yama, it takes some dialing in.
No, but this is still good. Here's the connection. Heart, excellent coffee. Many have said that. We agree. And the Yama just killed it.
It takes a little while to get it right.
The Yama?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I'm sure people have great coffee through the Yama.
I'm sure someone does.
Just the amount of time that we've put into it and the expectation, it's just under-delivered. There is a ratio, right, for how much time and effort you want to put into something and what you hope to get out of it. And to me, the ratio with the Silverton is just so skewed. It's just not something we are drawn to.
Yeah, I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it.
But others might love it. Reed, you might kill it on it.
Yeah, Reed, you're going to, in fact, Reed, this is what you're probably going to do, Reed. You're going to say, you know what? Those jerks, they didn't treat you right, baby. They didn't treat you right. I'm going to treat you right. And I'm going to prove to the world how great this Yama Silverton is. And I'm going to comment in their video on YouTube with my video. I would love to see that. I would love to see Reed dialing it in.
I think that'd be cool.
And then throwing up a comment video, like a reply to the video.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Speaking of throwing up, this coffee's really not good.
No, Heart is great coffee.
No.
It is really, really good.
Thank you. Let me rephrase. This brew in the cup in front of me that I'm drinking.
It's probably just me.
It's no good.
No, it's really terrible.
It really is. It tastes like we used third wave water, fresh ground coffee, great coffee.
Yes.
I think we got a good brew time, good extraction. Your grind, maybe it's not 100% dialed in, but it was
close.
It was ballpark.
It is. It's the same one that I use for the V60. It's the same grind setting and the same grinder that we had the heart on for the V60, and it was good.
What do you think? Over-extracted, under-extracted? A little bit of both? Funky flavors?
It really is hard to tell. It's just kind of, it tastes a little under, though. I would say if I was going to err on over-extracted or under-extracted, I would err on under-extracted.
I think you're right. I think it's a light roast to begin with.
Because I'm getting a little I'm getting vegetables right away, and then some flavors show up towards the end. Like I'm getting a little bit of caramel in the aftertaste, but the first flavor that I get, which was totally not what I was getting when we had the heart on the V60.
Yeah. I'm getting dirty dishwater.
Oh, well, that was, yes.
But, and here's the thing. We washed it with soap. I used clean paper towels to dry it.
We didn't wash.
Yeah, you did. You did the whole thing.
No, I washed these other glasses with soap.
But you washed all this because
I washed that. Yeah, I washed that thoroughly.
And then I dried it with paper towel. I didn't use like a dirty dish rag.
No, you didn't. And we didn't use dirty water. No, we did everything that we could to make sure that the Yama Silverton was clean and ready for service. Except we didn't do a good job, apparently.
Something went wrong.
Maybe you just got to let it sit a lot longer than we did. Maybe it's got to sit in there for 7 minutes.
Well, you have the valve closed right now, but it's dripping too. It's still...
Don't drip on Reed's stuff, bro.
You got a leaky valve, Jake.
Yeah. Sorry, Reed. But it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
And you know what? Reed, just to be real with you, I got so many emails for the Yama Silverton.
Still getting them.
Still getting them right now. But there could be only one. There could be only one winner.
You were the only one that came to the house, knocked on the door.
Showed up at the house, knocking on the door, being like, "Yo, can I get the Silverton?"
It's a cool thing to have, and it's fun to play with, and I think you can make great coffee from it, and we'd like to hear about it. But today, it ain't happening.
Yeah, because really, we want to find the best drippers, pour-overs, devices that are easily used that we want to use in our cafe and that you should be using at home. Silverton's not it.
Nope.
How many cactuses do you give it out of 5?
Well, if I were to break it down and then add it all back up, probably 2. I think aesthetically it would have 4.5. So that brings it up.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But then functionally,
yeah, whichever.
1.5, 2 tops. Yeah. And then consistency, just how easy is it to clean is a 2. So down in the 2s.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I would give it a 1 because of how difficult it is to brew on as well with the scale. Unless you measure your water first. You could measure your water first and then do the pour over. That's what I did. I have the other, this is a Bonavita electric gooseneck kettle, but I have the Hario. What I would do is I would put the water in there, measure it out, and then it's a little easier to use.
That's probably the trick.
That's probably the best way to go about it, but I would give it 1 star, and just that because it's beautiful.
And I mean, if it would probably be different too if it was $30, but it ain't.
Yeah, but it ain't.
So unfortunately, today kind of turned out to be mostly a review of this brew device at the expense of Heart.
Yeah,
apologize for that,
but we can make that up because I'm going to give Heart 4 out of 5 Cactus. It was a beautifully roasted, great representation of an Ethiopian coffee.
I would agree.
When we had it in the Hario V60 and the Reo method, Scott Reo method. It's not his method, but
we really enjoyed it. But I think that's the point. A lot of people, you guys out there have told us how you like Heart. You know Heart's good, so it's not like we're using our own coffee and maybe our own coffee's whack. We got good coffee, but we still couldn't get the Silverton to sing.
I have no doubt in my mind that Reed is going to be able to get that Silverton to sing, but we are happy to be sending it to a new home. What would you like us to review next? Either a brew method or a coffee? Leave it in the show notes or in the comments of the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/brew review 2. We'll catch you next time, and thank you for listening.